Hello and welcome. In this video we're having a look at relative clauses. So the woman who or that lives next door is a dentist. That's who plus verb. The man that or who I wanted to see wasn't at home. So that's who plus I. So we don't need that or who. You can use it if you like, but we don't need it because we've got the subject here. So sentence 1, who, the woman, is the subject, therefore we can't take out that or who. Sentence 2, who, that, the man, is the object, therefore we can take it out. So remember, if we've got a subject pronoun there, you can take it out. So here are some more examples. The dress that Jane bought was nice. Or the dress Jane bought. What happened to the man who was waiting for me? Man, subject. The woman I saw was chatty. Woman, object. I, subject. Subject again. Have you found the keys you lost? Subject. If we identify the person, these clauses are not necessary. So if you say, did you find Mr. Smith, who you were looking for? You identified the person, so that's wrong. Did you find the man who you were looking for, the man you were looking for? So that's correct. So if the meaning of the sentence is and he or and his and her or she, then we have to use a relative pronoun. Who, that, which, whose. So he spoke to a woman is 98 years old. So that's wrong. You have to use who is 98. I met a man who knows you. Basically means I met a man and he knows you. I met a man whose sister knows you. I met a man and his sister knows you. I know somebody who has 12 children. So brackets are around the relative pronouns that we don't need in these sentences. The car he wants to purchase is too much money. That's the worst film I've ever seen. I like films that have happy endings. So again, we've got subject pronouns. Tom works for a man who owns a Ferrari. A nurse is someone who looks after people. The Turkish boy we met could speak fluent Greek. The police have caught the man who stole the money. The man who lives opposite is a colonel. Where is the book that was on the table? So the relative pronoun what means the thing. So we don't use it with something, everything or thing. Everything you did was great. Not what. The thing that I liked the most was the large Chinese vase. What you said was very true, or the thing that you said was very true. What I would like is a nice cold beer. I gave him everything that I had. So not what, got everything there. Tell me what you want for your birthday. I can only lend you a little sugar. It's all that I have. Not all what I have, all that I have. She doesn't agree with what you said. She believes in everything that he says. So whose? We use whose in relative clauses instead of his, her, their. I saw a man. His dog was a pedigree. I saw a man whose dog was a pedigree. So we have a noun after whose. We use whose mostly for people. So what was the name of the woman whose laptop you borrowed? I didn't know whose car it was. I know a woman whose daughter knows you. But sometimes whose is used for things. It is a computer whose screen is LCD. A car whose 0 to 100 km/h acceleration time is 4 seconds. It is a computer which has an LCD screen. It's a car which has a 0 to 100 km/h acceleration time of 4 seconds. So whose? Noun. Whose noun. So this part's about restrictive and non-restrictive relative clauses. So a restrictive clause tells us which brother, no commas are necessary. So I have a few brothers. My brother who lives in New York is a teacher. So that tells us he has more than one brother. A non-restrictive clause gives extra information, so commas are necessary. My brother who lives in New York is a teacher. So I have one brother. In a non-restrictive clause with commas, we don't use that for people. I met a man who teaches Japanese. I met Dr. Ito, who teaches Japanese at the college. So we can't use that. Identified him. So non-restrictive, people, who, things, which. Restrictive, people, that or who, things, that or which. Examples here. We've got the non or restrictive in the brackets. David Greenberg, who comes from Iowa, is Jewish. Jane's brother, who is a mechanic, has married 4 times. His friend that lives in Mexico is a surgeon. Identifying. Dr. Smith gave a lecture on technology, which was interesting. You can't use that. He gave a lecture which was really fascinating. Well, that was really fascinating. The Sabbath, which is the weekly holy day for Jews, is on a Sunday? Priests often advise people who have personal problems. So you can use where to talk about places. Got some examples. The bar where we went was really nice. Or the bar we went to was really nice. So notice you use where here, no to. No preposition. That's the city where I was born. Or that's the city which I was born in. Preposition again. No preposition here. That's where I'd like to retire. So where and whose can be used in a non-restrictive or restrictive clause. What's the name of the place where you stayed? She's going to France. Going to go to France, where her son lives. I met some people whose house had been broken into. Keith, whose house had been broken into, bought a house alarm. So notice the commas in the sentences. This morning I met John, who I hadn't seen for ages. The riot in Brixton, which lasted 3 days, has finished now. So extra information clause. I know somebody who owns a Ferrari. Malaga, where my sister lives, is on the coast of Spain. I didn't talk much to the man who was introduced to me. Many Muslims follow traditions which have their roots in the Quran. Andy's brother, who lives in India, is now a Hindu. So he has 4 brothers. The Grand Hotel, where we stayed for Christmas, is relatively inexpensive, so extra information clause. We spoke to Ian Thomas, who is an expert on the origin of species. So he said his name, so therefore need the comma. We spoke to a man who is an expert. Didn't identify him. No comma. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. Thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.